Well, folks, here I am again. This is on a Sunday, and I didn't do one yesterday, a video, so I guess I better make two today, huh? Well, I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to share a little story with you that illustrates things that we encounter in our business and in our daily life, and we can't expect anything else. Anyway, this happened in the mid 80s. I was living in Woodland, Washington, and driving log truck for Ben Thomas out of Woodland, Washington. And anyway, we were working up by Mount Rainier and hauling in to Tacoma, Enumclaw. There was a number of different places that we were hauling the logs to. And we camped. We called it camping in Spanaway in a motel that they had there. And actually, it was run by Koreans, and the nickname for the place was North Korea. I don't know. Anyway, that was just the joke amongst the truckers, but it was a very reasonable and a nice, clean place to stay. So we buddied up and shared rooms, and in the evening times, that poor parking lot was full of log trucks, and we'd have to back in off the street with our load if we were loaded. It was kind of interesting, but anyway, on the weekends we would come home. And if our truck didn't need any work, we'd leave it up there. They had a place where we parked them. And if our truck needed to be taken back down to Woodland to get some work done on it, then we took it back. Well, this particular weekend, my truck didn't need any work. But one of my good friends wanted to get out of there early and didn't want to mess with going back to the shop, and he wanted a ride in the, I think either had his own vehicle there or he wanted to ride anyway, he'd get home faster. So I'm taking his truck down, from Tacoma area to Woodland. And I'm cruising along, and I get to the scales where we all have to pull in, and it said closed. And so what I did, I just went on by, and I got right beside the scale, and here comes this goofy patrolman out there flagging me down. And he jumped all over me. He says, "You don't run by my scales." And I said, "Hey, that sign said closed." And I knew what he had done. He had flipped it open, and I wasn't looking, so he could run out there and snag me. And he took me over through the ringer, and I tell you, if anybody was, I wanted to work that fellow over, but what could you do? He's a cop. You just go to jail. It wouldn't do you any good, except give you satisfaction inside. But anyway, I was furious. And one of the other truckers there, when he wasn't watching, he confirmed what I figured. He flipped that light last second so he could, a lot of patrolmen and a lot of lifers in the Army, not all of them, but they just like authority. And that's the difference between cops that are your friends and, capital PIG. Now, I've met a lot of both. I've met some really nice officers. And anyway, he just gave my truck the once over. It wasn't my truck, it was my friend's truck that he drove. And he kept me there for like an hour, hour and a half. And, I was so boiling mad. Nothing I could do about it. Here I was in this situation. And I just like to share, that's the way it is in our sand business. There's things that happen that just make you boil. You run into people, you run into, you're going to have difficulties and frustrations. It doesn't go away. That's just part of life. And so if we think we're going to get on easy street just because we're making good money, um, it doesn't happen. Misha has days even when he wants to pull his hair out. It's just that's just the way it is. We live in a world full of people, a lot of nice people, a lot of nice people. I mean, I haven't met anybody in the sand business that wasn't like good family. I have not. But outside of that, you got your scammers, you've got your people that are just out for their own good, out to make a buck, and they don't care who they step on to do it. And I'm glad that my business and the group that I work with will not tolerate anyone that does that kind of business. They lose their privileges. And so I'm glad. You may run into one once in a while, but he won't last long because our group will not tolerate it. Misha will not tolerate lousy business. So anyway, I'm happy where I'm at, if you can't tell, with the Super Affiliate Network. Click the link below and join a good group. Bye for now.